Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. The way I lost 45 pounds is exactly why I've been able to keep it off all these years, but it's probably not what you think. I used to feel like weight loss would never stick for me. Like no matter how hard I tried, I was stuck in this cycle, losing the same 10 or 15 pounds just to gain it back again. But I finally lost 45 pounds in a way that was sustainable, and I've kept it off for years. In this video, I'm sharing exactly how I really lost the weight and kept it off, the daily habits, the mindset shifts, and the adjustments I made along the way that no one talks about. Whether you're just starting out on your weight loss journey or you are tired of losing and gaining the same pounds, I made this video for you. And I'm gonna give you the tools you need to make your results last for good. Before we jump into it, do me a favor and hit that like button. That tells me to make more videos like this and helps other women find our community. And if you're new to my channel, I'm so happy you're here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my weekly videos to help you along on your fitness journey. And I do giveaways for my subscribers every single week, so all you need to do is be subscribed and drop a comment each week on the videos, and I'll share the winners over in the post channel. By the way, if you have not seen any of my other 45-pound weight loss transformation videos, definitely go check them out after this one. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I used to feel like a crazy person. Like I would try so hard. I'd be so strict with my diet and my workouts, and I'd lose 10 or 15 pounds and be so proud of myself. And then I'd kind of like chill for a while. And a month or two later, all of a sudden, I'd realize I was back up, probably even sometimes higher than when I first started. And it was so frustrating. And if you've ever felt that way, you are not alone. About 90% of women regain like 90% of their weight or more within 3 years of losing it. But I have definitely cracked the code. I've been able to keep it off for almost 10 years. And there are a few things that were the absolute game changers that no one really talks about that are really important if you actually want to keep your weight off for good. I talked about this in past videos, and Ryan and I actually talked about this in our last podcast episode, but I had to really get honest with myself and I had to kill my comfort rituals. And what I mean by that is I think maybe it's a girl thing, or I don't know, it's just me, but I just like love a cozy comfort. Like there's just this vibe, right? The air gets a little bit cooler. I'm like, I want a glass of wine. I'm gonna put on a fire. I'm gonna watch a movie, or I'm stressed out. We have all these little food related emotional comforts that I really started to realize I kind of had one every day for every reason. And I started finding all these moments where I'm like, oh, when I look at my day, I have so many comfort rituals that are killing my progress. And making swaps worked for a while. So when I'd have like our Monday girls bachelor night, instead of opening a bottle of wine, I'd make a cup of tea, and that worked for a while. But there was a point where I realized that I had to kind of get to the root of what I was trying to fill by having that thing. What feeling was I avoiding or trying to create with those little rituals? For any of you girls watching this that like have those same little kind of comfort things, you know, like comfort and connection and those rewards, those are all emotional things. They're not hunger cues. And when I realized those were just continuing to slow my progress and sneak back in, especially after you've lost weight and you're like, I'm doing okay. I'm gonna reward myself or treat myself, and I can just like slowly slip into those old habits. So if you can start identifying them when you're in the process and not just swapping for like lower calorie options all the time, like maybe go for a walk, read a book. Anytime you have a trigger for one of those like emotional eating moments, find something non-food or drink related to fill that void. And you might have to force yourself a little bit at first, but it'll eventually start to break that emotional eating connection and make it so much easier to lose the weight and to keep your weight off. I think something that's really important that I realize now, especially as I've been able to maintain the weight loss, and I still put in the work every day. And part of that is I didn't start with an 80-20 lifestyle. That's really like where you want to be once you have control in our maintenance. You got to be more like a 90-10 or even better at times when you're really wanting to put in the work. And 80-20 comes as that maintenance after. If you've been here a minute, you know I talk about an 80-20 lifestyle. We have to have that balance. But there are times, and I still come back to this day, to help maintain my weight loss. There's seasons and times where I go back to counting my macros for a short amount of time to make sure I am still eating the portions that I need to fuel my body. And way back when I very first started, my progress was really slow. And it's because I was more in this 80-20. But once I locked in and really started to focus, I saw results so much faster, but I also saw something really important that no one talks about. I saw that I was able to break those cycles, break the habits, break the cravings, the things that I was like always wanting, it completely allowed me to not crave them, not want them, and keep the weight off. One thing I did back then that I still live by to this day is I cut out junk food. I cut out fast food. I don't drive through. And there are a few reasons. One, obviously I think just on a baseline, we know you're gonna have higher sodium, higher fat content, processed, like just generally not that healthy. But more than that, I realized if I'm calling it junk food, why would I want to put this in my body? I really started looking at it for what it was instead of just this, like, oh, I really want fast food. For me, it was a choice of learning to respect my body enough to stop. I do think you need to go more like 90-10 for a period of time to really break the cycle. And then once you are in control, you are not being controlled by the food and these crazy cravings, then you can live in an 80-20 where you can occasionally enjoy those things or things that you really want without feeling like you have to eat all of them or that you drop back into like those old habits and gain all the weight back. Easy things you can do: cut or limit alcohol, cut or limit refined sugars, cut out fast food. Doing that alone is going to be huge. Track your protein, making sure you're getting enough. Do those simple things and I promise you, you're going to be able to lose more weight and you will keep it off if you keep doing those things. And that really is one of the biggest lessons I learned. I think one of the things that has helped me maintain my weight loss more than anything else is understanding that the habits I created, the things that I did to lose the weight, had to continue to be the things that I do every day to maintain the weight loss. So some of the habits that I started during my weight loss journey that I still stick to this day: I walk every single day, 12,000 steps every single day. I stay super hydrated. I sleep 7 to 9 hours every single night. All these little things. Strength train 3 times a week. Those are things I created during that time. The things I do today are the things that started during that weight loss journey. If you want sustainable weight loss, then you have to have sustainable habits. So cutting out carbs, it's not a sustainable habit. That makes so much sense why you weren't able to keep the weight off, because you're not going to cut carbs for the rest of your life, right? You have to build your foundation with things that you know you can continue doing forever. Don't build your house on routines you're going to abandon. I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but I used to be so terrified of restriction, like we were talking about a few minutes ago. And so I would try to really let myself like have whatever I want, or, you know, intuitive eating. But I've talked about this before. Intuitive eating doesn't work for most people. Intuitive eating doesn't work until you have control over your eating and your behaviors and your habits. And so I would say I eat much more intuitively now that I've done it for so long. And that's something that helps me keep the weight off. But more than that, I think the thing that allows me to keep it off is having guardrails. So instead of restrictions where I say, oh, I can't have this, this, or this, I like to think of it like protection. I set myself up for success. And I did that during my weight loss, and I do that to this day because I know, for example, if I buy chips and I have bags of chips in my house, your girl's gonna eat them. All of them. Because while I do have some self-control, it's really easy to convince ourselves like it's not that big of a deal. So instead of thinking of it like restricting myself, I think about it like I am protecting my body. I have enough love and respect for my body that I don't want to go through that. So I'm just not going to put myself in that situation. And I think one of the biggest things in helping me keep the weight off for so long is not only like setting those guardrails and like protecting myself, but really realizing that I want to make choices that align with my desired identity. I want to respect myself. I want to take care of this beautiful one body that we have been given. I'm gonna do everything I can to be that person, be the healthiest version of myself inside and out. And so I'm gonna make choices that align with that identity. And that has been the biggest unlock for me in keeping the weight off for all these years, is having to check in with myself and be like, nope, I don't want to be that person anymore. I love her. She's beautiful, but she was sad. She was in a dark place. She was not healthy mentally, physically. I don't want to be that girl anymore. I want to be this person who wakes up joyful and happy and has energy and is healthy and can picture my life getting better and better every single year. And it's those little daily habits that I'm maintaining right now that I've created through the years, through that journey, taking it slow, not trying to rush the process, that have got me here. Something that I struggled with for a while was understanding that like it was okay for me to change and grow, for my goals to change, for my habits to change. And I know I just got done saying everything you did back then is what leads you here and like you got to continue that. And that's true. But my goals had to change, because if they don't, that's where you hit plateaus. That's where you at best kind of stay stagnant, at worst start to go backwards. Because as you get healthier and stronger, your body's going to expect more. All of those habits that I created during my weight loss loss journey that I've maintained since that time. Now I'm going to take those next level and elevate on them and really expand upon them to keep growing and keep pushing myself, and not only keep the weight off, but see how much stronger I can get. What else can I do? I know transparently, I was like, I don't want them to think it's like whatever if I'm like, oh yeah, I want to like see if I can get even stronger and like get a little more ripped. But like I'm at a point in my life where I want to do that. And so I'm still doing all my same workouts, but I'm leveling up. I'm pushing myself even harder. And that's what it takes to keep the weight off, because it's more than just habits at the baseline and making sure you're not eating too much and making sure you're moving your body. It's caring enough about yourself to continue to push yourself outside that comfort zone. Because again, wherever we get comfortable, whether you're overweight, at a healthy weight, strong, thin, lean, whatever it is, things get stagnant. And they're gonna get stagnant in different parts of your life. And it doesn't mean your body's not great as it is, but our physical body, it's so powerful and it plays into so many other parts of our life. How we show up for work, how we show up for our partners, how we show up for our family, our friends, everyone. To have that self-control, to stick to those habits, to make the time and to do it. And that will expand the rest of your life. And that is what I've seen. That's what's helped me keep it off all these years, is because I get juiced up. What's the word? Like I just get excited. Like that makes me feel good. And so I want more of that. And it just continues to grow. And I think that's been one of the coolest things through the years, is really checking back in more consistently on myself, on my habits, but on things like this, to really say like, okay, what's next? I've got this. I've nailed this. I'm good. I'm not going to slip back into that old stuff, but what can I do next? How can I challenge myself? How can I push myself a little bit more? And having that mentality of wanting to grow, wanting to learn, wanting to do, that's what's allowed me to keep it off. That's what's really made it easy to not only lose the weight, but to keep it off for this long and not be 90% of people who regain the weight back. And I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be the 10%. I want you to be the person at whatever point you are like feeling good and happy with your results, that you say, yeah, I'm not going back to that old version. I'm moving forward every single day. And you can be. This could be your story. I wanted to share this one just because I felt like it's really important to kind of share like the deeper stuff besides just like, of course, eat in a caloric deficit, move your body, like the deeper things that really honestly to me are what make or break your ability to lose weight and keep it off. I think at the end of the day, if you are just starting out on your journey, just know that if the things that you are doing to lose the weight right now don't seem sustainable for the next 3 months, year, 5 years, they're not gonna work. So try something else. For me, yes, losing 45 pounds absolutely changed my life, but it's what I gained during that time that has really transformed me into the woman I am now. To be able to sit here proud and happy and feeling as good as I do every single day. If you want this to be your last weight loss journey, don't chase perfection. Shift your mindset, be patient, build those habits, just stay consistent. I promise it is worth it. All right, girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button and drop a comment down below if you have any questions, if you want to chat more about any of the stuff I talked about, or there's something I didn't mention that you feel like is important, share it so we can all jump in and chat with each other in the comments. I love you all so much. I appreciate this community, that we have the safe space to be able to just share and be open, share your story with me so I can help you along the way. I'll see you soon. Bye.